Like question 28, the last question in the paper, we're told the diagram shows the sketch of the graph y equals cos x, and we're asked to write down the coordinates of the point A. It's one of these ones that you just need to know your graphs of sine and cos. And you should also know that the graphs of sine and cosine, they actually repeat every 360 degrees. So they're periodic for every 360 degrees. That means they repeat every 360 degrees. And if we look at our diagram, we can see that it starts to repeat here, which means that if I was to draw a line straight down here, this particular part of the diagram is halfway between 360, which means that this, I'm going to move that over a wee bit, this has got to be halfway between 0 and 180. So this part here, the x-axis is 360 degrees, which means this part here would be 180, which means this part here is 90 degrees. So we know that the x value is going to be 90. We can see that the y value is going to be 0. So that is going to be 90, 0. Now the next part, we're asked on the same diagram to draw a sketch of the graph y equals 2 cos x. So in order to do that, I'm just going to get rid of the numbers that I had here. I'm going to leave the lines because they might help me out a bit. This is a transformation problem. And you should know that if y equals f of x is a function, well, y equals 2 times f of x will transform that function by stretching it in the y direction by a scale factor of 2. So all the x coordinates are going to stay the same. All the y coordinates are going to double. So if that's 1, the function that we're going to sketch is going to start up here at 2. And if that was negative 1, it's going to come down as low as negative 2. Now, like I said, it's a stretch in the y direction, which means the x values are not affected. And hence, we're going to end up with something like this. We've got to keep our wave-like property. It's going to look like a wave. It's going to come down here. And then we got to go back up. Going to pass through this point here, because remember the x's don't change. The y values are doubling. And it's going to come all the way back up to here. So that's a sketch of the function y equals 2 times cos of x. That's the last part of the last question, and that should get you 2 marks.